2 cans of tuna. 33 men.
Buried 700 meters underground.
It was supposed to be a routine job, a normal shift, a normal morning, a normal goodbye. At 9:17 a.m., the ground swallowed him, and for the next 9 days, no one knew if he was alive. The collapse. In 2010, in northern Chile, 33 miners descended 700 meters underground into the San Jose mine. One of them was 28-year-old shift supervisor Daniel Herrera. He had done this hundreds of times before. The tunnels were narrow, the air thick, the walls unstable but familiar. Then, at 2:05 p.m., the mountain moved. First, a deep cracking sound, then a violent tremor, then darkness. Thousands of tons of rock collapsed in seconds. The main tunnel sealed shut. Dust filled their lungs. The lights failed, and silence followed. When the debris settled, 33 men were trapped nearly half a mile below the surface. No signal, no escape ladder, no way out. Realization. At first, they believed rescue would come quickly. Give them a few hours, someone said. They gathered near the emergency refuge, but the refuge was partially destroyed. Food inventory, 2 cans of tuna, a few biscuits, a small container of milk, industrial water for machinery. That was it, for 33 men. Daniel did the math. They could survive maybe 2 days, if they rationed brutally. So they divided, 1 spoonful of tuna, 1 sip of milk, every 48 hours. Hunger arrived by day 3. Headaches started by day 4. The temperature underground reached 35 degrees Celsius. Humidity suffocated them. Sweat soaked their clothes constantly. Some men began hallucinating. One swore he could hear drilling above them. There was nothing. The mind turns. Day 5. No rescue, no sound, no light, except dying headlamps. Men started breaking. One miner screamed that they had been abandoned. Another punched the walls until his hands bled. Daniel forced routine. They assigned roles: cleanup crew, water collectors, prayer group, quiet hours. It sounds simple, but routine saved them, because when the body weakens, the mind becomes the real enemy. Day 7. They stopped talking about food. They stopped talking about home. They stopped talking. Energy conservation became survival. Daniel wrote a note in the dust with a rock. "We are alive." He didn't know why. Maybe to feel real. Above ground. Above the surface, families gathered. Rescue teams drilled exploratory shafts, but the mine was unstable. Several drills failed. One broke entirely. Officials debated calling it off. Too deep, too dangerous, too unlikely. But one drill continued, slowly, painfully. Every meter took hours. They didn't know if anyone was alive below. The breakthrough. Day 9. The miners heard something, a faint vibration. At first, they thought it was another hallucination, but then rock dust fell from the ceiling. A narrow drill pierced through the chamber. It was barely the width of a fist. Silence. All 33 men stared at the hole. Daniel grabbed a red marker from a toolkit. He tore a piece of paper from a supply log and wrote, "Estamos bien en el refugio, los 33. We are well in the shelter, the 33. They taped it to the drill bit. Above ground, engineers pulled the drill back and saw the note. Grown men cried. Families collapsed to their knees. All 33 were alive. But survival wasn't over. They were alive, but still trapped. Now came the real challenge, rescuing them without killing them.
A capsule barely wider than a human body was built. It would take 20 minutes per man, one by one, for 22 hours straight. Daniel volunteered to go near the end. He said leaders leave last. When his turn came on October 13th, he entered the narrow capsule. The wall scraped his shoulders, 700 meters of darkness above him. If the capsule jammed, he would be stuck between earth and sky. The ascent began. It took 18 minutes. When the capsule opened, the first thing he saw was sunlight. He shielded his eyes. He hadn't seen the sky in 69 days. He stepped out. His wife ran towards him. He fell to his knees, not because he was weak, but because gravity felt different. Aftermath. All 33 miners survived, but survival left scars. Many suffered PTSD, claustrophobia, nightmares. Some couldn't return underground. Daniel later said something haunting. The hardest part wasn't hunger. It wasn't darkness. It was not knowing if anyone was coming, because hope is fragile underground. Closing. The earth can collapse in seconds. Light can disappear without warning. But survival isn't just about strength. It's about routine, leadership, hope, and refusing to let the dark decide your fate. For 69 days, they lived inside a tomb and walked out alive. This wasn't a movie. It wasn't fiction. It was real. And it proves something terrifying. Sometimes the only thing separating life and death is a note that says, "We are still here."